We start here. Eskom has found a technical solution to extend tomorrow's deadline to update prepaid electricity meters. But it still requires customers to buy tokens before the expiry date. The tokens can be bought from any legal vendor. The final update can be then completed at a later date at an Eskom office. About 2 million prepaid customers are impacted. Now, for the latest on the rush to update electricity meters, let's unpack this with Daphne Mokwena, who is Eskom's spokesperson. A very good evening to you, Daphne. You were on the ground today. We've been seeing those snaking queues throughout the week, but also today. What's the latest?
So thank you, Martha, and thank you, and good evening to your viewers. So the latest is that you would have seen that we issued a statement yesterday. Let me start there, because what we have, we had a breakthrough on our technology or on our online vending system where we could pre-generate the tokens for these zero buyers, because what we have left with in terms of the updating of the KRN2 meter, the KRN2 on the prepaid meters, is customers that are not buying. Mostly 99.99% is those customers that are not buying. So what we have said to these customers is that they must, those that have their meters and they know their meter numbers, their meters are active on our system, they must go and buy electricity at all our legal vendors. And if I can give you an example, we've got about 52,000 legal vendors out there where our customers can access them and get their tokens. So basically, when they buy, they will get the 2 tokens that will enable them to update their meters, and then they will get that credit token. Key change token, credit token. So once they have uploaded all 3, then their meters will be fine, meaning that their meters will be moved to KRN2, and then they won't have to be bothered by tomorrow's deadline. So what we have seen as well is that some of our customers, or most actually, do not know their meters and they don't have their meters. So those ones are the ones that we are addressing and taking their details. However, what we're saying is that once you have went to a legal vendor and bought your credit token, don't come back to Eskom offices tomorrow. So that's the message. So today and tomorrow, go and buy as a zero buyer meaning you know that you haven't been buying from Eskom for a long period. So what you need to do, even if you bought once this week but you haven't bought for ages or for all those months or years, just go and buy from a legal vendor, your ShopRites, your USave, your SPARs, and your boxes and your filling stations. But as I said, that we have published our 52,000 vendors on our website, on our social media platforms, if customers are struggling to know which vendor they should go to. So once you've bought and that token doesn't, and you start punching the token on your meter and it doesn't accept it, what we're saying is that at least by buying, you would have kickstarted the process of converting your meter to KRN2. So you don't need to come back tomorrow. You need to visit, or you'll get an SMS, or you can also visit us later in the week, next week, after the 24th.
And I'm sure for many of those prepaid meter users, they were quite relieved with this extension that Eskom has granted as well, and been able to find this technical solution. However, our reporters was also on the ground today at various stations as well. And what they found was that the people on the ground hadn't received this particular message, that there is this extension that you can go buy this token by midnight to ensure that you convert to the new system, or at least start the process. It seems that there was frustration at how poor the communication was to let them know, because then that would also shorten the queues. Over and above, mainstream media interviews like this one, what else is Eskom doing to ensure that they get this message out there to those people, especially those who don't have a TV or a radio and the elderly?
Yeah. So, Masa, so we're using our social media platforms. We've been on local radios because to tell the honest fact, most of our grannies, especially because we're seeing most grannies coming through to Eskom. So they are listening to radios, and we are on different languages so that they can understand that message that they need to go and buy. And we are also on our website as well. We have also posted, but the most, I think, a means of communication, and we are on TV as well. I mean, for an example, today, as I've done a couple of interviews since from yesterday, most of the customers there could recognize my face and even call me by name because they saw me on TV. So surely they would have heard the message. But it's just that what I have picked up is that some customers were still hesitant of the message to say, do they still need to come? But we're still enforcing that message. And our teams are also out there with loud hailers telling customers that they should not come to our walk-in centers because if they've got the meter and they know their meter number, they must just go to the legal vendors and buy. If you don't have a meter and you don't know your meter, as I said, that those customers, we're saying we can assist you next week, but we're seeing that some that are there, we take their details and so that we can then send them SMSs. But all that we're saying is that if you don't have a meter, you know that you have breached, just go and buy if you know your meter number. But if you don't know your meter number, please also don't come. We will still address you from Monday and henceforth.
The other frustration I just wanted to point out, Daphne, from the ground was the pace at which the officials were working and also the level of professionalism. We also heard from the elderly, grannies saying that, the way they were spoken to was also pretty harsh and disrespectful. But more importantly, that the pace was very, very slow as well. Does Eskom have enough personnel on the ground to deal with these large numbers that you're seeing?
Yeah. So Masa, I think you also need to recognize the fact that we were dealing with 2.1 million zero buyers. We currently have dealt with about 500,000 out there. So what we have also done as well, and I mean I've been at the Diepkloof hub today. We had about 1,098 customers. We had sent others out to go and buy. Hence, then the queues then were reduced or shortened. But when I left that hub, we had no one actually that needed to be assisted, and the queues were moving very fast. I was there on site, and we could actually, when I got there, I was actually told that the queue was up very long. I'm not sure if you know this, but it was up until where Sasol Garage is. And when I got there, it was actually half of that distance from our premises to that to the filling station. And when I left at about 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, we had already actually dealt and addressed all the customers that were there. And as I said, that our strategy of also telling the customers to not queue at our offices and go and buy, and once they have bought, then they will come to our offices at a later stage. It also worked.
And for tomorrow, what can we expect if, for those who still will be coming to your offices and queuing anyway and not heeding this call as well, will there be enough personnel? And also, I think that level of professionalism, it was quite disheartening to listen to those elderly people saying how they were mistreated, in fact, and not spoken to in an appropriate manner.
Yeah, and I really want to apologize to all our customers that our teams would have not addressed them professionally. But as I said, Masa, that when I was there, the teams were maybe, I'm not sure whether it was because I was there, but the teams were addressing the elderly, all actually customers that were there. They were addressing them professionally, and those that needed water, they gave them water. Those that didn't have meters, for an example, they would also try and go maybe assist those customers as well in terms of how they can also get to know what their meters are. So from where I'm sitting, or my experience today, I think our way, or particularly to where the site that I had visited today, I didn't notice any unprofessionalism in the way, or any complaint for that matter, from our customers.
Yeah, hopefully at those stations where that did occur, that will be dealt with. Thank you so much, Daphne, for your time and just giving us that update.
And then tomorrow, Masa, we are still open. However, we still insist that those that have breached their meters, that have no meters, they must not come to our offices. But customers that know their meters numbers, they must just go and buy from the legal vendor outlets out there. And in Soweto, for an example, we've got 178. But as I said, that because this is where I was today, but nationwide, we've got 52,000 vendors out there that will be assisting customers as they approach them to come and buy.
And just on that, for tomorrow as well, just to reiterate to our viewers as well, that extension has been extended, that deadline has been extended, but they must buy by, is it midnight tonight or midnight tomorrow?
So they must buy by 8:15 tomorrow, the 24th of November. They must have bought so that their meters can be triggered for this process can be completed at a later stage.
And 8:15 in the morning or in the evening?
8:15 in 8:15 in the evening, sorry.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for explaining all of that to us, Daphne. Really appreciate your time. That's Eskom spokesperson Daphne Mokwena.